The rain poured mercilessly over Route 27, soaking the cracked pavement and blurring the neon sign of the roadside motel that flickered like a last heartbeat. At 1:47 a.m., a blacked-out SUV pulled into the gravel parking lot, its tires crunching over the loose stones like whispers of a secret. Inside the vehicle sat America's sweetheart, Camilla Hart. To the world, Camilla was a force of nature, Grammy-winning singer, red carpet royalty, and brand ambassador to more products than she could name. But in this moment, she wasn't any of those things. She was just a terrified woman running from a betrayal that cut deeper than fame could ever soothe. Her hands trembled as she yanked her hoodie lower and slid on oversized sunglasses. She didn't even grab her luggage, just her phone, which was now useless since she'd thrown her SIM card into a gas station trash can 2 towns back. Tonight, she didn't want to be found. Tonight, she didn't want to be Camilla Hart. She just wanted to breathe. Inside the office, the motel lobby was dimly lit and smelled faintly of coffee and furniture polish. A bell above the door chimed as she entered, and from behind the desk emerged a man in his early 30s, tired eyes, oil-stained hands, and a name tag that read, Liam. He glanced up, barely registering her face. She noticed the bags under his eyes and the way he moved like someone carrying a weight no one else could see. "Need a room?" he asked softly. She only nodded. "No ID required. Just cash." Camilla dug into her hoodie pocket and handed him a folded wad of bills. Liam took it without question and handed her a key. "Room 12. Last one on the left." She offered a grateful nod and walked out into the rain again, wondering what kind of man didn't ask questions these days. Liam Daniels had long since stopped expecting life to surprise him. After his wife died 3 years ago in a car accident, he'd buried his heart with her. Now, his days were spent fixing cars in the morning and managing his late father's rundown motel at night. But his real life, the part that still meant something, was upstairs in room 3, where his 6-year-old daughter, Emma, slept soundly under the worn-out quilt her mother once made. Emma was the only spark left in his life. She was sunshine wrapped in freckles, and she never let him forget how much her mommy loved them both. Every drawing she made had 3 stick figures, Mommy, Daddy, and Emma, holding hands under a purple sun. That night, after giving room 12 to the mysterious woman in the hoodie, Liam checked on Emma, kissed her forehead, and sat on the edge of his own bed, rubbing the fatigue from his eyes. Something about that woman, something didn't sit right. Camilla stared at the cracked ceiling of room 12, listening to the buzz of the overhead light and the distant cry of a train horn. She hadn't slept in 48 hours. Her team thought she was in Malibu. Her ex-fiancé thought she was forgiving. And the tabloids thought they owned her story. But none of them knew the truth. She had discovered the affair weeks ago, her manager and her fiancé, the 2 people she trusted most. The betrayal was one thing. But when the threats started, threats to her career, to her reputation, Camilla realized just how quickly the world could turn against you. So she left. No entourage. No press release. No goodbye. Just silence. But solitude had a sound too. And in the quiet of that motel room, it screamed. The next morning, Camilla ventured out for coffee from the lobby. She kept her hoodie on, head down. The scent of cinnamon and burnt toast caught her off guard, and so did the giggle that floated from a nearby doorway. She turned her head to see a little girl with red curls and a lopsided smile seated at the front desk, drawing stick figures on a receipt pad. "Hi," the girl chirped. "You look like a ninja." Camilla chuckled despite herself. "That's the goal." "I'm Emma. Are you staying here too?" Camilla nodded. "Just for a little while." Emma tilted her head. "Are you sad?" That question hit like a freight train. "Yeah," Camilla whispered. "A little." Emma hopped off the stool and offered her a crumpled drawing, a stick figure with long hair and a sparkly dress. "This is you. You can keep it." Before Camila could reply, Liam came out from the kitchen holding a tray of toast and eggs. He paused when he saw the interaction. "Emma, what did we say about talking to guests?" Emma stuck out her tongue. She looked sad, Daddy. Liam shot Camila an apologetic smile. "Sorry about that. She's a bit of a therapist in training." Camila smiled. "She's very sweet. And right." He glanced at her again. This time, something flickered in his eyes. Recognition. Concern. But he didn't say anything. Over the next few days, Camila settled into an odd sort of peace. She helped Liam replace a leaky pipe in one of the bathrooms, shared microwave dinners with Emma in the lobby, and even swept the sidewalk when no one was looking. There was something honest about this place, broken as it was. Something real. Liam never asked questions. Not once. But he saw things, like how Camila flinched when her phone buzzed with an unknown number, or how her hands shook when she read the news ticker at the bottom of the dusty TV. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the sun dip below the cornfields, Liam finally spoke. "Whoever you're running from, are they still looking?" Camila hesitated. "Probably. You safe here?" She nodded. "I think so." Liam let out a slow breath. "Then you can stay as long as you need." Camila's eyes filled with tears she hadn't meant to shed. "Why are you being so kind?" Liam looked toward the stars. "Because someone once was kind to me. Right when I needed it most." But peace, like all things fragile, never lasts forever. The next day, a TMZ van parked across the street. Camila's heart stopped. She'd only gone to the grocery store once. Worn sunglasses. Paid cash. But somehow, they found her. Within minutes, the motel was surrounded by paparazzi. Flashbulbs popped like fireworks. Reporters screamed her name. Emma started crying, clutching Liam's leg. Camila ran back to room 12 and locked the door. She knew what came next: speculation, judgment, humiliation. They would twist her silence into scandal. Her escape into shame. But then, a knock. Not from the press. From Liam. "Come with me," he said firmly. Camila hesitated, but one look at Emma's tear-streaked face told her everything she needed to know. Liam led them out the back, through the service door and into the woods behind the property. He'd grown up here. Knew every path, every turn. They trekked for 20 minutes until they reached an abandoned barn. "You can hide out here for a bit. I'll handle the press." Camila looked around, stunned. "Why are you doing this?" Liam placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Because you don't deserve to be hunted just for being human." That was the moment it broke, the wall, the fear, the mask. Camila collapsed into his arms and sobbed. For once, she didn't have to be strong. The next morning, the media was gone. Liam had told them nothing. Claimed she'd left 2 days ago. Even showed them footage from the parking lot that conveniently skipped the past 24 hours. Eventually, they moved on. Camila returned to the motel quietly. Something in her had shifted. "I can't hide forever," she told Liam. "But I'll never forget what you did." He smiled. "Just promise you'll pay it forward." She knelt down and hugged Emma tight. "I promise." 2 months later, Camila Hart reappeared in the public eye, stronger, wiser, and no longer afraid. In an emotional interview, she shared her story. Not just of betrayal, but of kindness. Of a struggling dad and his little girl who showed her that compassion still existed in the world. She didn't name them. But the world knew something had changed. A year later, the same rundown motel had new signage, the Emma Hart Inn. Funded anonymously. Restored beautifully. Inside, Liam stood at the front desk, still in oil-stained jeans, but with a spark in his eyes that hadn't been there in years. And beside him, Emma greeted guests with a crayon drawing and a smile. Out back, a plaque hung by the garden, to the ones who offer shelter, not just from storms, but from despair.